Peace and blessings, beautiful people. Peace and blessings. This is Empress Imani, and welcome to this episode of Sacred Love Lessons. This episode is sponsored by Manifest Your Magic Within. This 30-minute webinar will show you how to go from confusion to clarity, from waiting to action, and from scarcity to abundance. Go over to manifestyourmagicwithin.com for more information and to enroll in this 30-minute webinar. So today's episode is about the Emperor's new clothes. And you guys have heard the story as children growing up, and we'll just go over that today. So there was this emperor who ruled an empire. This emperor was very vain. Like, he was very materialistic. He wasn't concerned about the people at all. And what he would do is he would take the people's money and he would just use it to buy new clothes. They said this guy had so many clothes that he had a new outfit for every hour, and he would change his clothes often throughout the day. And then he would have his people just take him around in a carriage throughout the day so everyone could see, what type of outfit he had on and see his new clothes. So the word got back that, the emperor was just very vain. Personally, on a side note, I think the emperor may have been a narcissist, but I'm not really sure, but I just think maybe he was. He was in the mirror all the time, and he just seemed so engulfed in himself, and everything was just about him. He was very self-absorbed, right? And the only person that he cared about was himself. So I think the emperor may have been a narcissist. So, word got out about this emperor, like throughout the land. Everyone knew about this emperor. So you had these two tricksters, you guys, and they devised this plan to hit a lick on the emperor. So what they do is they start spreading the word to say, hey, we make the finest of clothes that you can imagine, magical clothes. And that's how they cloaked it, magical clothes. So naturally, the word got back to the emperor, and the emperor wanted to meet with these two guys. So he meet with these two guys, and the two guys tell him, hey, we make these magical clothes, and let me tell you about these clothes. If you wear our clothes, you'll be able to tell two things. One, you can find out, if people are like idiots or simpletons, whether they're smart or not, or whether they're fit for their job or not. Because if the people tell you that they can't see the clothes, then that means that they're dumb, or they're unintelligent, or that, they're not fit to do the job that they're in. So the king, he's just like, oh man, this will help me eliminate people. We will definitely need this in the HR department. He was just really on it. So he was like, okay, what do we need to do to get started? So the guys was like, okay, first of all, we're going to need to secure the bag. So we're going to need a bag of gold. And then we need your finest of threads, your finest fabrics, silk. And we need some gold thread, lots of gold thread. So the emperor was like, okay. So he gave them a bag of gold. He gave them his finest silk and lots of gold thread. So but he told him, he said, okay, I'm going to give you this, but you got to stay here on campus and, make my clothes, right? And then once you've made them, then you can leave. So they were like, okay. So these two fools, tricksters, they were making the emperor's new clothes, and I put making in quotes. They were making the emperor's new clothes, and so the emperor, he was like, it was a while, so he was curious about the progress. So he sent one of his trusted advisors, someone, we're talking about his right-hand man. He sent his right-hand man to go check on these tricksters, how's it coming? So the guy, he goes, And the tricksters, they're in there working on these machines, these looms, making the emperor's new clothes. And they're just really, really working, like really, really working hard. At least that's what they're making it look like, right? But the machines that they're working on are actually empty, you guys. There's nothing there. They're just going through the motion, pretending that, that they was, it was ether, right? It felt more like a Ponzi scheme too. So anyway, or some kind of bank fraud. So they tell the guy, right? The old man, they said, come closer. What do you think? What do you think about the colors? What do you think about the design? Isn't it beautiful? So, the old man, he's saying to himself, what the hell? I'm not seeing any clothes. I don't see colors or a design. Does that mean I'm stupid? Does that mean I'm dumb? Does that mean I'm gonna lose my job? If I go back and tell the emperor I can't see the clothes, does that mean I'm gonna lose my job? This is what's going through the old man's mind, right? So what the old man does is he just was like, bump that. He tells the tricksters, oh yes, oh it is beautiful. That design is awesome. Oh my God, that design is so awesome. I'm gonna tell the emperor you guys are doing a wonderful job. So he goes back and he reports back and he tells the emperor these two guys are doing a wonderful job. It's amazing. So a short time after that, they pull it again, right? They say, okay, we're going to need another bag of gold. We're going to need some more of that silk, some more of that gold thread, and we're almost done. So they re-up, right? So the second time around, the emperor, he sends another guy, a different guy, but someone on the inside, close to him, right? Same situation happened. The second person, he go through the same process, everything. It's just a repeat, right? Like just a karmic cycle. So anyway, he goes back, he reports back to the emperor, it's lit. You gonna love it. The colors are beautiful. Oh, it's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. So the emperor's like, okay. So he give it a little more time. Now the clothes are being presented to him, right? And the guy, there's no clothes, you guys. Okay, let's just pause right there. There are no clothes. Everyone is just pretending they're going through the motion that they can see clothes, but there are no clothes. So they go and it's like, oh, here's it. Isn't it beautiful? So now it's the emperor's turn, right? It's time for him to be gaslighted. So instead of him saying, where the hell are my clothes? And I'm going to need to get that money. Y'all going to need to run me back my coins. And all this fabric and gold thread I gave you, you're going to need to run it back. Instead of him saying that, right, speaking his truth, what does he do? He questioned himself. He doubted himself. He started saying, if I tell them I can't see any clothes, then they're going to think I'm unfit to be an emperor. So I have to go along with this. I have to say that I can see it, and I have to buy into this lie, into this deception. So what does the emperor do? He buys into the lie. And so he's like, oh, yes, beautiful, yes, y'all. So now it's time for him to go through his processional like he always do, so he can show everybody the clothes. And so everybody's heard about this, right? The word is out. They all know the fashion show, the Vogue, the Versace is coming through, right? So he even has a person that is pretending to carry the train to his new clothes, right, you guys? And so he gets, quote unquote, dressed, and he goes out into the streets, and the people are like, everyone in the audience, they're all having the same reaction. When he first comes out, he's like, everyone is just quiet because they can't see the clothes. Why? Because there are no clothes. But they go through that same process of self-doubt, right? Self-denial, self-deception. And then they begin to cheer, oh, the clothes are beautiful, blah, 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 gassing old boy up. And then this little boy out of nowhere, he comes out of the crowd and he just blurts out, "The emperor has no clothes. The emperor has no clothes," right? And then the crowd begins to say, "The emperor has no clothes." So now the emperor, he's looking like the big fool that he is. And the two tricksters, they get away with all the money, all the fine silk, all the gold thread that he gave them. They get away scot-free with all of that. And he's just looking like a fool, right? Big ego injury. So let's talk about the story. Let's break it down. What the hell is going on here? And how do we see this in our everyday life? Well, the first thing is that everyone, including the emperor, they all deceived themselves. They all engaged in self-doubt. They all failed to speak their truth. They all, instead of looking at the bad behavior that was being put in front of them, they just kept focusing on the good only, to the point to where it was toxic positivity, right? The emperor, this person, again, I think the emperor may have been a narcissist, pretending that they had it all together when behind the scenes it was a chaotic mess at best. And we see people do this in their everyday life, right? I've done this in the past in my everyday life, where I remember when I was in law school how they used to tell us, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Some people call it future faking, whatever you want to call it, just being fake, being an imposter. And that's really what it is, whether you want to see it that way or not, that's what it is. So we saw people faking just all across the board. We saw this huge cloud of gaslight just floating over the empire, right? I mean, at some point, someone had to know that nothing good was going to come from this, right? The emperor, he was so, and not just the emperor, okay, but the two people that he sent to check on the tricksters, everyone in the crowd, everyone was concerned about their reputation, their image, what other people would think and say of them. Everyone, including the emperor, right? So what's the moral to the story? The moral to the story is that you need to believe in your own voice, and you need to speak your truth. To thy own self be true, versus what someone else is telling you or what someone else is trying to show you. Because sometimes you'll have people who they come out and they present a persona, right? They have this persona that they have concocted in the background with their handlers, and they come out and they present that, especially, in the entertainment industry. We see that a lot, but you can also see that in the coaching industry. You see it in church, where people present this persona of what they think you want to see. And that's their public life. But behind the scenes, they are living a totally different life. And some people are living like 3 and 4 lives. Like they're dating people all around the world. They're scamming and frauding and tricksters. They're all of that. But if you come and you see them out in public, they look pristine, right? They're wearing the emperor's new clothes. So the moral to the story is to listen to your own voice. Speak your truth. Be true to yourself so you can be true to others. If you find yourself in a situation where you are attracting people who lie to you, you may want to first ask yourself, in what way am I lying to myself? Am I being honest with myself? Am I speaking my truth? Because I guarantee you, right, when you do that, when you speak your truth, when you live a life of honesty and authenticity, The average scam artist, the average crook, the average corrupt person, they will not approach you because they will be afraid of being exposed. Okay? And especially someone like me I'm gonna tell the world who you are. We're snatching masks off over here because we are being the light. So just be the light, right? Walk in your truth. Be true to yourself so you can be true to others. And when you do that, you will begin to, one, raise your vibration, right? Your frequency. You'll begin to meet people that are more on your level in that regards, right? Having integrity. People who are also honest with themselves, who will also be authentic, who will come as their true self. And then you'll be able to get into relationships with people, whether they're intimate or, partnerships, business, platonic, whatever it is, friendships with people who have integrity, who walk in their truth. You'll begin to meet people like that, and you'll have better relationships in your life. Now, what does that mean in the end? When you have better relationships like that in your life, based on honesty, based on integrity, based on authenticity and transparency, you will have more love in your life. That's what it all boils down to, you guys. That's what we're talking about here, Sacred Love Lessons. You will have more love in your life. So if you are surrounded by sharks, piranhas, people that are predatory-like, people who are like the Emperor, we also call them karmics. If you're surrounded by people, toxic people like that, examine yourself first. In what way have I been toxic to myself? In what way have I lied to myself or deceived myself? In what way have I just went along to get along because I didn't want to rock the boat? In what way have I suppressed or dimmed my light so I can fit into a group, so I can be a part of some clique? And I don't do cliques either, right? So I can be a part of this. In what way have I done that? And then when you address those issues within yourself, you will begin to see, you will begin to eliminate, and you will be like the little boy, right? Out of the mouth of babes. You will begin to speak your truth, and you will shed light that, guess what, you guys? The Emperor has no clothes. Let go of the lie and see that the Emperor has no clothes. So that's our lesson for today. I hope this lesson has been of value to you. If it has, please share it with your friends and your loved ones and on your social media. Don't forget to go by manifestyourmagicwithin.com. manifestyourmagicwithin.com. There is an awesome webinar there that will help you manifest those awesomeness things within you and bring them here into the 3D realm. Until we speak again, be the light.